can you live without eating pork?
Yeah, you can.
There you go. So if you can, then what's the point?
The baby, not actually a baby, a fetus. Before the.
I like the way you changed the name to fetus.
Yeah, the fetus.
Did you see how we did that? How quickly you went from baby to fetus? Because fetus shows you that it is not something connected to an individual, which is a person.
Yeah.
But when you say fetus, you kind of desensitize yourself. Are you seriously a nihilist?
Yes.
No way. You can't be a Buddhist if you're a nihilist.
Yeah, so.
Nor a Taoist.
That's my call.
Nor a Taoist.
That's my call.
No, but seriously, look. Your shoes have a purpose. Yes? Your shoes has a purpose. You don't have a purpose? Think about it.
Yeah. We create them.
I know you did, but for a purpose.
We create them.
I know you did, but the question is for a purpose. Everything you're wearing, yes, your eyes has a purpose. You didn't create your eye, did you? Your eye has a purpose. Your nose has a purpose. Do you as an individual not have a purpose?
There's a lot of organs, there's a lot of body parts that don't serve a purpose.
Sorry?
There's actually lots of body parts that doesn't serve a purpose.
Yeah, which body part of yours doesn't have a purpose? Don't tell me appendix, because it does have a purpose.
No thyroid.
Huh?
No thyroid.
The thyroid doesn't have a purpose, seriously.
No, thyroid has a purpose.
Exactly. So?
But there's a nerve running down thyroid back here. The path does not serve a purpose at all. It's just a bad design.
What's okay. The nerve? Sorry, I'm a doctor. What's the nerve?
I don't know. What is the nerve called? Oh, interesting.
Sorry, I don't know. I don't know the English. But
thyroid is the most important.
No, he said there is a nerve that goes here which doesn't serve a purpose. Are you speculating or you know this?
I know this.
You know this. So if the doctor cuts that nerve, will you be alive?
I mean, you can be alive if you like lots of nerves are cut.
No, I'm talking about that nerve. You said it doesn't have a purpose. Yeah. So if they cut that nerve of yours, will you still be alive?
No, that's not what I mean.
See what I mean? If it doesn't have a purpose, then if you cut it, it shouldn't be bothering you, should you? But the reason you have it, surely it has a purpose.
Okay, so...
You know, before they used to say the appendix didn't have a purpose, right? At one point, they said appendix doesn't have a purpose. Now they found the purpose of it.
Hashim, I thought you were going to say the appendix.
I know, I thought as well.
I was waiting.
Yes, I was waiting for that.
I thought you were going to say the most useless organ is the appendix.
Appendix.
That's what I thought.
Appendix. No, appendix is useful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Appendix is useful.
Alhamdulillah. Because before they used to say it wasn't. Probably 10, 20 years ago, they used to say it didn't serve a purpose. It is an appendage or a remnant from the time we were monkeys or something. I don't know what. Maybe something else. I don't know. So it's an evolutionary appendage. Anyway, look. Every part of your body, trust me, has a purpose. Yes? You know, even the pain you have, there's a purpose for that.
That's true.
You see what I mean?
That's true.
So even though something which is not really tangible, but it's a pain, you know, imagine your teeth didn't have pain and one day it fell off. You wouldn't even realize that it fell off because it didn't pain you. Because you see, before it rots, before it becomes bad, it gives you signals. Your body is giving you signals, something is wrong there. Get it sorted from your dentist. So that serves a purpose.
Yeah.
Yes? And do you see everything in your body, the way it's been organized, the way it's been, the way it functions? It is beautiful. Do you think it just came about by chance one day?
I know.
Are you Googling what doesn't have purpose? No, go on, do it.
I want to
ask ChatGPT, no problem.
No. I wish to show you a book.
Yeah. So as Muslims, we believe that not only we, but every part of our body is there for a reason, and everyone in the society plays a role. But if I were to ask anyone and they tell me I don't have a purpose, then I think they are already lost. Because anyway, nihilism is not a way of life. It is basic. That's the reason many of them, unfortunately, not talking about you, many of them, unfortunately, they have no purpose. Some of them say, look, I killed myself, I have no purpose. I'm only atoms and molecules. So what purpose do I serve? They have no objective in life, many of them, unfortunately, and it puts them in a very dangerous position. So we pray and we hope that Allah guides you and gives you a purpose. As Muslims, we believe our purpose is to serve God. What does that mean? Yes, it means that we obey Allah and we do whatever He has commanded us to do, because what He commanded us is good for you. What He has forbidden you is bad for you. For example, there are certain things which are haram in Islam, like gambling, alcohol, fornication, adultery, telling lies, murdering people. All of these things are bad. So Allah has forbidden this. But the thing is, as individuals, we know the good and the bad in our life, and we take precautions accordingly. But if you say your own existence serves no purpose, then everything that you think has a purpose should be irrelevant, because if you yourself have no purpose, what is the point of existence as well for you? What is it you're looking for?
I mean, there's a book discussion about some irrational design of human God.
Second?
Irrational design of human God.
The rational?
Irrational.
Irrational? Irrational what?
There's lots of design that's like irrational human body, actually.
No, I don't think there's anything irrational. That's why you can't point anything in your body that is irrational.
Okay, let's don't say irrational. Let's say most problem. Cause lots of problem.
Look, everyone's got problems in their life, so what? Doesn't make it irrational. Your life will have ups and downs. Yeah? Like, when you look on, is it ECG, the machine? It has ups and downs. Imagine if the ECG machine goes flat. What does that mean?
It's not connected.
Either it's not connected or you're dead.
Even if it's like, if an ECG machine is not connected, it also goes up and down.
What is it measuring? What is it measuring?
It's measuring the environment.
Exactly. So if it's measuring environment, maybe there's ups and downs in the environment, the energy levels, no problem. But you see, when it's connected to your heart, and if it goes flat, then you are clearly not alive anymore. So expect ups and downs in your life, because that is exactly what we are looking for. If you have a purpose in life, then you will have ups and downs. Sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're sad, sometimes you have problems, sometimes you solve the problems. We should be optimistic, because like in English there's a saying, every cloud has a silver lining. Yes. And also in Islam we say, after hardship there is ease. After hardship there is ease, and this is one of the ayahs in the Quran. That the Quran also tells us this. So don't expect your entire life to be hardship, or don't expect goodness all your life. You will definitely have ups and downs. Even the prophets, they had ups and downs in their life. Yes, for example, Prophet, peace be upon him, peace and blessing be upon him, Prophet Muhammad, his children died. Most of his children died. Only one daughter survived it. The rest of his children, they all died. Some of them in childbirth, some of them very young. Yes, so this is, when a child dies, for a parent, that is the biggest calamity for them. It's a huge calamity. So what we are saying is that try to find a purpose in life, and then look at the possibility of an afterlife where it will be eternal and there's no return from it. And if that is the case, then the question you should ask yourself is, what have I done? What have I done in this life that will help me in the afterlife, which is eternal? Because if you have disobeyed God, then there will be punishment and there will be consequences for this. And if you have done good, then there will be reward and bliss for an everlasting life. Logically, which one will you pick? Would you want to have a blissful life or a life full of damnation? Which one will you pick? Based on your logic, tell me which one would you prefer? A life of hardship or a life of bliss?
Everybody wants a life of bliss.
Absolutely, yeah.
Sometimes you need some...
Sorry, say again? Don't give me a butt, please.
Sometimes you need some hardship.
No one will choose hardship. When they have an option between hardship and goodness, they will all choose goodness. No one will choose hardship, trust me.
Hardship, yes.
Well, give me an example in your life where you had a choice between hardship and good life, and you chose hardship.
Depends. I mean, sometimes, look. There's no clear line between hardship.
Actually, I can give you one example.
Depends on the reward.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes, I choose hardship. For example, if I could drive to some place easily, or I could walk there. I prefer sometimes to walk.
Yeah.
Yes? Because I see benefit in that than just driving. It is kind of harder compared to me driving, but this is not the kind of hardship and bliss. I'm talking about eternal hardship and eternal bliss. Yeah? No one, trust me, look, I don't care what you think, no one in their right mind will choose eternal hardship. No one. Either there's something wrong with them mentally or they're not thinking it through. But that's what I'm saying. If you were given the option in this life where you live for 70, 80, 100 years, and yet you do not decide that to make a meaningful life which will benefit you in the afterlife, then on the day of judgment, we believe in a day of judgment when God is going to judge us all based on the life that we led in this world. So on that day, you will have no one to blame but yourself. Do you agree? If you choose a life of disobedience to God, then on that day of judgment, you will have no one to blame but yourself. If God judges you to have the eternal damnation, and this is not something I'm telling you to scare you, because for you to learn something which is beneficial for you, it is not based on to scare you. For example, if you drive, you drive, you follow the laws. Yes, the traffic laws, I hope so. Now, for you to understand and to abide by the traffic laws, you have to learn it first, right? Doesn't matter how hard it is to memorize certain things because they take a test. Yes, I'm sure they take a test in Taiwan as well for you before you can drive. And they ask you, you have a theory, we have to memorize certain things. They'll ask you maybe multiple questions, multiple question answers. And you have to make sure that you tick the right boxes, otherwise you fail the theory. If you fail the theory, you can't take the practical either. So for the practical tests also, you have to learn how to drive. In both cases, you have to learn. So you have to put yourself through certain hardship to make sure that you pass the test. Similarly, this world, I said this life you have is a test, and you have to learn certain things. What is that you have to learn? Because when God created you, He did not just leave you in this world unguided. He gave you guidance through the Quran. The Quran is your guidance, and it tells you what is the right way and what are the ways which will lead you to damnation. And those are the things which Allah has made haram. Haram are the things which are forbidden.
Okay.
Yeah? So, do you think certain things should be forbidden in life?
I don't.
What should be forbidden?
Cigarettes also.
Cigarettes? Okay, that's good actually, yeah, not bad. What else? Drugs?
Drugs, of course.
Okay.
For my perspective, it should be forbidden. Yeah, but I believe in everybody should be healthy.
Should be happy.
Should be healthy and happy.
But taking drugs is not healthy.
Yeah, so
it can make them happy temporarily, certain drugs.
Yeah, so
but it's a temporary, but it also harms them really badly. You can ask the doctor here. Drugs are very bad for you.
What's the question?
Drugs are very bad for you, isn't it? Drugs, taking drugs, not the drugs they prescribe, yeah?
Prescribe them.
Yeah, exactly. I already read your mind because you're one of those guys who looks for loopholes. Okay, so yeah, unless the doctor prescribes it, yeah, a legal one.
Legal ones, okay. Legal ones, okay.
Not a quack. So unless they prescribe
for medical use, it's okay.
Yeah. So even the medical use drugs, they tell you what the downsides are.
Yes.
They tell you the side effects of certain drugs, and this is also they don't just prescribe to you.
Okay, I have a question.
Yeah.
So for me, there's haram because there's some purpose. Like for me, the purpose, like everybody should be healthy. I should be happy.
Okay.
And like for Muslim, so God have a purpose, or there's haram for no reason.
No, haram is not for no reason. Okay, I'll list a few haram things. You tell me if you agree or disagree. Certain things.
I agree.
Okay, so alcohol, drugs, we already mentioned.
Yeah.
Telling lies.
Yeah, agree.
Yes. Murder.
Partially agree.
Murder. We'll come to the exceptions later.
White lies, okay.
I'm talking about generally.
Yeah.
Okay, murder.
Agree.
Fornication.
Sorry, what's that?
Fornication. Having sex outside marriage.
Okay.
Okay, extramarital sex. What about adultery?
In my country.
Adultery.
Adoption?
Adultery. Adultery is where if you're married and you have sex with someone you're not married to.
Okay.
That's called adultery. Yes? So again, extramarital affairs and so on. Okay, anyway. If these things agree with you that they should be forbidden, and that is what haram is basically.
Yeah. I'm really curious about the pork.
About the what? About the pork?
The pork, yeah.
Yeah, so there are certain dietary requirements. We have, for example, not only pork, by the way, we can't eat like carnivorous animals either. Or those birds which have talons. Okay. Yeah. So we are talking about a lot of dietary requirements, not just pork, by the way.
Yeah,
so yes.
So what's for this?
Like dogs, for example. We can't eat dogs.
Dogs. Yeah, I see. We don't eat dogs.
I don't know about Taiwan. Do they eat dogs there?
No, we don't.
They don't. Good thing. Yeah. So yeah, I think this is something. Again, we have a lot of dietary requirements, but again, it's like I said. Look, it's not something that people will desire to eat. Many people,
I know, but
out of their own. But the whole idea of obedience and disobedience is such that we obey what Allah has told us, and that is the main thing. Because He has created us, He knows the reasons better than any of us. Yeah? So for example, pork, there's a lot of like tapeworms and all, which can get in your system from the pork. Yes? Even sometimes it's well cooked and all that. And there's a lot of things which have been medically proven that these are the reasons that people shouldn't eat it. But like I said, for us the main reason is Allah has forbidden it. He has made it haram, and that is sufficient for us. Okay. So now, from most, by the way, the other thing I didn't mention is gambling. Do you think gambling should be forbidden?
Yeah, should be.
Yeah, there you go. So most of the haram things you agree with, and this is what a logical individual would actually say that. So if most of the harams are, what is that that's remaining now? That's halal. So that's something that's, yes. By the way, we also have rules with regards to the dietary laws, like I said. Then we have certain things which are obligatory. Yes, for example, belief in the oneness of God without associating any partners with Him, which is called the Shahada. Then we have the prayers, the 5 daily prayers, called the Salah. Then we have Zakat. We have to pay 2.5% of our savings, yes, every year. And this is for the people, obviously, beyond a certain threshold, like if they have more than, say, roughly $500, then they have to give to the poor and the needy people. That's the third pillar. The fourth pillar is fasting in the month of Ramadan. Yes? So even though all the food, which is halal for us, we can't have during that time of fasting.
I know.
Yes? And that is from the obedience to Allah as well. And finally, we have to perform Hajj, the pilgrimage to Mecca, once at least in your lifetime, provided you're fit and you can afford it. Yeah? And these are the 5 pillars which are obligatory for us to do. Now, do you find any contention in that?
No. I mean, it's actually good, but my concern is that the world is ever-changing.
The
world is ever-changing.
Yeah.
And you have...
the haram remains the haram.
Yeah.
The halal remains the halal. The obligations remain obligation. For the last 1400 years, until the Day of Judgment, it's the same. Doesn't matter how much the world changes, the society changes. These are universal laws.
I mean, the fourth one is not universal, for example.
Yeah, I mean, can you live without eating pork?
Yeah, you can.
There you go. So if you can, then what's the point? Certain people, I don't know, you might not be a vegan or a vegetarian. Many people will consider it to be bad to be eating meat.
Yeah.
Yes? So this kind of subjective understanding of what is right and what is wrong will always be there in society.
Yeah.
Because like you said, society changes. The laws change. Because at one point, homosexuality was forbidden and punishable by law as well. Today it's accepted.
Anymore, I wonder.
No, I'm talking about the law in the country. This is a non-Muslim country in UK.
Yeah, so
100 years ago, even though in a non-Muslim country, it was forbidden. But today it's accepted and a norm. So that's why I'm saying societies will always change. The laws will always change. But the good thing about religion and its laws, in particular about Islam, because we have the final revelation called the Quran, and we have the final messenger whose name is Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. So what final means that there's going to be no more revelation and no more prophets and messengers after him. And that's the reason we know that this is now fixed. See what I mean? So no one from who calls themselves a Muslim can change these laws, which are now universal laws and for all time.
Okay.
Yeah? But the thing about when you say that what is good and bad, do you think good and bad are subjective?
Yeah, it's always subjective.
Okay, so who decides who is right and who is wrong?
Yeah.
Should a vegan decide or should a omnivore like us decide? Who's going to decide what should be the dietary laws?
Yeah, I get the point. So
Yeah.
for you, who decide?
No, for me, my God decides. I don't decide.
Okay.
Yeah? So
I decide and
even though I am an omnivore, I can't eat haram. Very simple. You see what I mean? So even though certain people would like to drink alcohol, for me, my religion, my God says it's haram. So I stop over there. I don't ask what are the benefits, what is the entertainment value, how it makes me feel. Forget all that. It's irrelevant. Because for me, haram is haram. What Allah says is the best guide. He's the best guidance. Yes, and the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, is the best of the guides as well. Okay? Now, for you as someone who might not believe in God, it will always be problematic. Because you'll have to make compromises, yeah, depending on which society you live in, depending on which country, which laws you are under, you'll have to make compromises, yeah. Because, like for example, in India, they're banned eating beef, especially of that of cow. Even though it's a secular country, they've made it a law that anyone who actually kills a cow for consumption, then they will be punished by the law. In a secular country, can you imagine? So they can change the laws. Yeah, tomorrow even though India is the biggest exporter of beef, yes, mainly buffalo, I know, but still it's a way. I mean, what's the difference between one life and another life? You want to save one life, but then kill the other. Yeah, it makes no sense. So when it's arbitrary like this, then you'll always find flaws in that. But you see, when God gives you a law, then you'll find not only purpose and meaning, but also rational and logic within that. And that is what I'm telling you, my friend. When you're going to live based on how the society lives, then your life will be purposeless, meaningless, and your morality will always be subjective. So what is good for one person might be bad for another person. Yeah? I'll give you another example. What do you think about abortion?
Abortion.
Should a mother have the right to abort a child?
I support.
You support it? Why? Why do you support abortion?
I mean, it's kind of what your priority is.
Sorry, say again?
It's kind of what your priority is.
Whose priority?
So for me,
No, whose priority?
the mother.
Why should she be the one to make that decision?
So it's only my belief. So
Yeah, of course, that's what I want.
So for a baby,
Yeah.
at least for most countries, the baby, not actually a baby, a fetus, before the.
I like the way you changed the name to fetus.
Yeah, the fetus.
Did you see how we did that? How quickly you went from baby to fetus? Because fetus shows you that it is not something connected to an individual, which is a person.
Yeah.
But when you say fetus, you kind of desensitize yourself by using this so-called acronym, not an acronym, sorry, a euphemism in a way, because fetus impersonalized immediately for you. So it's very easy to say, let's kill it now. Same thing like, the IOF is doing in Gaza. They call them animals. When you call humans animals, it's very easy to justify killing them.
Yeah, I see.
And that is exactly what many of these so-called oppressors and dictators did during history. Yes? Whereas what does Islam say? That to kill one person, it is as if you have killed the whole of mankind. And to save one person is as if you have saved the whole of mankind. That is a principle which is found in the Quran in chapter 5, verse 32. So we go by that principle. We don't just say, oh, it is a fetus, so let's kill it. If the mother has a right to dictate whether the child lives or not, and I'm going to use the term child. You know why? I'm going to use the term baby as well. When you were in the womb of your mother, guess what she called you? It's just background noise, just forget. When you were in your mother's womb, what did she call you? A fetus or my baby? My baby. Not just baby, my baby. Personalized it. She loves it. Even before she saw you. Even before you were having hands and feet, she immediately knew as soon as she was pregnant, she started to call my baby. And so did your dad, I'm pretty sure, and so did other members of the family. You know why? Because that shows the real humanity and the love for a life form. which has potential life, even though it not have the capacity to think or to cry or to speak, it has a heart that is beating from before even the limbs form. You might have to correct me on this. The limbs, do they form after or before the heart beats?
No, the heart beats first.
There you go. So I was right about it. So you see the beating heart, that is a sign of life. Do you agree? You still call it fetus?
Yeah, fetus.
Yeah?
Still call it fetus.
Yeah. So if I'm...
Still converting after all of this? Haven't you been converted?
No, not Charlie. Sorry about that.
We leave it to Allah for conversion. Our duty here is to convey the message. So
Think this guy says.
anyway, just ignore him. The guy's a troll. He's a troll. Yeah. So what I'm saying, that's why you were listening here. Did you see how he was listening earlier?
It's just a discussion.
He's
so.
shaitan. You know what shaitan is?
Yeah. He looks like you, I think.
Sorry.
Okay. So a fetus is dehumanizing, and that's the reason many people use this term fetus. Okay? But your mother most likely called you my baby. But have you ever seen how the abortion takes place? I suggest you don't. If you haven't seen it, don't do it. And if you have seen it, then you should know how inhumane it is.
Disgusting.
Yeah?
You know, we have videos of babies in the womb opening their mouth, screaming. They scream, like you can't see it. There's ultrasounds that you can do. The baby screams while he's being pulled out.
I don't even want to picture that.
No,
But you see, this is what you felt when you saw it. Did you feel disgusted?
That's still bad, but sometimes
Just bad?
it causes another problem.
You just felt bad, not disgusted?
It's a necessary evil.
Unnecessary evil
Yeah.
to kill an unborn child,
Yes.
to kill a baby. Why is it necessary? Tell me. Whose fault was it? Let's start with that. Whose fault was it that made it unnecessary?
Okay, so
Because now the fetus, you're calling it, is unnecessary, so just remove it and chuck it out. Whose fault was it to start with? Was it the child's fault? Or was it the fault of the parents? You know, it takes two to tango.
yeah, it's
So you can't blame the child for its development because that is a natural process.
yeah.
So whom do you blame for it initially? You should blame the people who brought it into the world. Yeah? In this case, the parents. Now it is their accountability and their responsibility to take care of it. But to destroy it is their accountability as well.
Guys,
The accountability falls on them too.
I see. Ideally, the
Yeah.
parents should have responsibility. But what if the parents don't take the responsibility? Is that the best for the child into the life? Or it is better to take abortion?
Sorry, say what? The child what? The child will not have a better life? Give it for adoption. There are many ways. There are many people who would love to have a child in their life. They pray to God every day. Yeah, they worship some statue every day. They beg doctors to impregnate them. They will do anything. They will throw millions at you. There are lots of people, trust me, who want children.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there are options to adopt, to give the child for adoption. I don't think the only way out is to murder the child, which you call fetus, unfortunately, as to dehumanize it.
Sorry, sometimes in my country.
You know, most of the abortions, they take place because of the irresponsibility of the parents. And most of the time it's an unplanned pregnancy.
You're literally in a big...
And if you look at all the factors, not a single fault is that of a child. The only thing in which Islam permits abortions in exceptional cases, like for example, maybe it puts the mother's life in danger, or perhaps there is a case of a rape, for example, unfortunately, because it might...
So you accept that?
No, I'm saying there are certain exceptions. But if you look at 90% or 95 or even more percentage of the abortions that take place is unplanned pregnancy. It's not because of this exceptions rule. The exceptions are very few. Yeah? So that is the reason I'm saying this is something which is one of the greatest immoral legal things which happen in most countries.
Okay.
The greatest immorality. And the only thing which has been made legalized is abortion, unfortunately. So that is the reason I'm saying, my friend, when you have laws coming from God, you won't find people aborting. You know, there are millions which are aborted every year. Millions, literally. Yeah? But that's what I'm saying. It's a very unfortunate case, and if it is left to us human beings, then we will be even okay to kill unborn children. And that is exactly what we see today in an ungodly world, where people don't care about accountability in the hereafter. You know, it is like basically having no traffic laws and you let everyone pass through. Yeah, you'll have chaos on the streets, isn't it? And that's exactly what we need. We need organized religions, and especially the true religion, which gives you a purpose and a method of guidance in this world. And I don't mean like someone who is a Muslim, they only, when Allah says, you know, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, that Allah has created you to worship Him. The jinn and the insan, which is another creature who has free will. We have created you for this purpose. But what does it mean? What does worship mean? Worship means, like for example, conveying the message to you of goodness of the Quran and Sunnah, conveying something good to another person, helping your neighbor, for example, yeah, moving something which is hindering the road or hindering the path, moving some thorns from the way. All of this is considered worship. Worship means obedience to God. What He has told you, to propagate it, and what He has forbidden you, to stop people from doing that and advising them not to do that. That is what worship means. So in a nutshell, what I'm saying is that look into Islam, try to study it. I know it's a lot of things to unpack, but give it a shot and see if it gives you more purpose in your life, hopefully, and meaningful. But, you know, we don't live morals based on our whims and desires, because if that was the case, then it'll be chaos everywhere. Yeah. Most of the time, it's subjective, and I think that is also problematic. So we leave it to the one who created us to give us more objective morals, which we can all, you know, reflect upon and think and ponder on. Inshallah. Anyway, very nice speaking to you. Thank you very much for your patience. What's your name? Eon. Yeah, you told me. Sorry. Jazakallah khair. No problem. And may Allah, we pray that Almighty guide you and me to the true path, to the right path, and have a meaningful life, hopefully. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. You take care. All the best.
Most of the points I agree with you, actually.
I know you do. But there is a lot to unpack. Wa alaikum salam. Alhamdulillah. Barakallahu feekum, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.